Welcome to SVG-TV News for Monday, November 14th, 2016. I'm Lafern Fraser with the details. The first of 4 killings, which occurred here within a 7-hour period between 8 p.m. on Sunday night and 2 a.m. on Monday morning, took place in the public road at Coco Camden Park area, where Nicholas Lane lost his life. Sharon Garraway spoke to some persons who witnessed the attack and filed this report.
Young Paris is describing the actions of her boyfriend Nicholas Haynes as heroic, as he warded off their attacker and she was able to hide in the nearby bushes. Still distraught by the assault, the mother of 2 recounted the horrific attack and says she feels lucky to be alive.
Up the road, sit down for wait for a van from my boyfriend to go home. So when I did it, I see the boy coming up towards me. So he went staying down the road, stopping a van for go town. So the van ain't stop for him. So I met him in a sharp pants and a slippers and bay back and a book back on his shoulder. So when he reached to me, he took out the knife out the bag and coming up to me. So he now come close to me. He come close to my boyfriend. So when my boyfriend get for run, me get for run down in a gap, this one come down. And me run in and me say, Felicia, a man just run away down. So he run up in the gap this by Rora then gap this. So when he run this, the boy get for attack him up in the gap there. When the boy attack him, the boy get for cut his throat.
So that the attack occurred around 11 p.m. last evening and happened from the main road of the Camden Park area where both persons were waiting on a van. Now the assailant then fled through here chasing his victims, a male and a female. At this spot he attacked the male, crushing and even stabbing him. As the female, she fled into the bushes into safety.
He fell down and he was continuing stabbing him. And then afterwards, I saw him go in the yard, so I tell my mom, took off the light and take off the TV. And then after, I still remained by the window, and then I saw him come in the yard. I don't know what he take up after. I heard this loud noise, and when I realized it's the blocks that he moved from the zinc and hitting him in his head. And he go back for the next half. It was 1.5. And he go back for the half and still continue hitting him. And he took it up about 3 times, the 1.5 blocks, and hit him in his head and make sure he died.
Sharon Garraway, SVG Television News.
And the small community of Decent Cottage in the Old Montrose area was thrown into a state of shock after learning this morning of a double homicide of a mother and son in the neighborhood. We hear more in this report.
The Old Montrose Decent Cottage community was awakened by the news of a double murder homicide around 8:30 this morning. According to friend of the family Declan Lynch, he rushed to call nearby officers at the Old Montrose police station, where he found the body of his friend, 47-year-old Ronald Israel, a mechanic, in the porch of their dwelling house.
I saw inside the porch it had Ronald Israel. He was there in a pool of blood. With his head smashed open like a piece of designed baluster.
Upon investigation by the police, the body of Israel's 75-year-old mother, Avis, was discovered in the bedroom. Assistant Superintendent of Police Cauldron Francis explained that the retired nurse was found drenched in blood with a severe head trauma.
We met a gentleman in the porch and another lady in one of the bedrooms. They were both dead. The owner of this location is Miss Avis Israel. She's also one of the dead persons, and also her son, Ronald Israel, R-O-N-A-L-D, Ronald. They have died from significant head injuries about the head, really, and they are gruesome.
The scene of the crime was heightened with emotion as family members refused to let the bodies be exited from the house until daughter to Avis Israel and sister to Ronald Israel, Roxanne Dalrymple, was able to see her deceased family members. The relatives were too distraught to speak with our cameras, but Lynch described the family as kind-hearted.
No, I'm like friend of the family. I grew up around here. My sister is like a second mother to me, you know. So any little help she wants around the place, I'm always here for her. You know what I mean? When people kind to you, could be kind back to them.
Reports are that 3 women fought off a male attacker around 12 that morning, and the attack on the Israels occurred around sometime after the incident. Sharon Garraway, SVG Television News.
Heartfelt condolences go out to our beloved Roxanne Israel and her family, personally and on behalf of the management and staff of SVG Broadcasting Corporation. In the Kingstown Park area, retired nurse Pamela Williams lost her life at around 1:28 a.m. She was found motionless in bed with blunt force trauma to the head. Here's more.
The fourth killing is believed to have taken place around 1:30 a.m. in the Kingstown Park area. 58-year-old retired nurse Pamela Williams reportedly screamed for her dear life as her attacker inflicted fatal blows about her body. The worker at the Thompson's home for some 7 years was on vacation and believed to have been in the living room area relaxing when she was caught off guard by her attacker. Sister Florence Glynn, who is trying to come to terms with the brutal death of her older sister, said she lives close by and heard screams for help and summoned others in the neighborhood.
Around after 1, I hear the neighbor dog over on the other side barking, and it was more consistent and normal how they normally bark. So I got up and I went to my kitchen window and I look out and things like that. But I didn't see anything. So I was heading back to my room when my phone rang. And when I took up the phone, it was my sister because I see her name come up on there. And when I tried to answer, I didn't get no reply. So I head towards my door and I push open the door and run out outside. When I run out outside, she was by the window. She pulled the curtain and she by the window and trying to say something to me, but I could not afford what she was saying. So I edged back a little way. So when I edge back a little way now and I look in, I see the guy there. I don't know where he had any hand or anything like that, but I just see him there beating up on her and stuff like that.
One of the persons who was first on the scene and who bravely fought off the attacker was Bobby Little. Reports are that the attacker went to a neighboring house first, but was chased off by the occupants of the house as they shouted that they were going for a gun. Little said that he sprang into help mode and refused to let the attacker flee the house, where he had already taken the life of the retired nurse.
When I go there, he was there and then the others come after. So when he go wrong, the guy was coming up, so we hit him. So he go back, jump back inside. So I go in the window, go through the window now, and I go inside and hold him and fight up with him now. And hold him down, but he was real strong. So I hold him still, and he reach him for something for thing, but I lock him down, then call the rest. So the rest of them come in. So we had to hold him, give him a little couple stroke to, and put him down. Because if he didn't put it, he would have put me down too.
Although sadly, his last victim, Pamela Williams, died just behind in this house. The quick thinking of her sister and persons in the neighborhood ensured that the assailant was apprehended by the police and is now nursing wounds at the Milton Cato Memorial Hospital. Reporting for SVG Television News, I am Sharon Garraway.
We sympathize with all families and loved ones of those who were tragically killed in last night's events. May God give you strength and support that you need to carry on. Police here are reassuring the general public that all is well and that St. Vincent and the Grenadines is still a safe place to live after a spate of homicides which occurred within a 7-hour period over the weekend rocked the nation. At a media conference earlier today, Acting Commissioner of Police Colin John disclosed that a suspect is in custody and is currently assisting the police with their investigations into the homicides.
The police were currently investigating, based on the report from the incident at Pamela Williams' house, a person by the name of Jurani Baptiste, an 18-year-old student or laborer of Sandy Bay. He is currently a patient at the Milton Cato Memorial Hospital. As you would appreciate or ought to appreciate, we would not be able to go into a lot of the details because the matter is under investigation, and I would not wish to prejudice that investigation or subsequent prosecution should it come to that stage of this matter.
According to the police, deceased 30-year-old Nicholas Lane of Edinburgh, 58-year-old Pamela Williams of Kingstown Park, 75-year-old Avis Israel and her son, 47-year-old Ronald Israel of Decent Cottage, all died under similar circumstances between 8 p.m. and 2 a.m. early Monday morning.
What I can also say is that all 4 of the deaths are similar in the way in which they appear to have been committed. In this case, well, subject to the post-mortem, of course, because I'm not a doctor, seem to be blunt force trauma to the head, and in some cases, stab wounds along with the blunt force trauma. So they bear striking similarities as regard to how they appear to have happened. In some cases, bricks, balusters were found either under the deceased persons or very close to them. So it appears if that these blunt instruments may have been used to effect.
Amidst the concerns and fears of the general public, Assistant Commissioner of Police Colin John insisted that the incidents were isolated and Vincentians should not be concerned.
St. Vincent is still a very safe place, and based on the information/intelligence that we have, there is no need to be unduly worried or unduly cautious about about your safety. We know that, okay, I always advocate, I always say that your safety is your concern. So you should be allowed to stay surrounding and make sure that you do not fall a victim to any crime. But generally speaking, this is an isolated incident. I cannot give 100% guarantee, but it's very unlikely that an incident like that would occur anytime soon based on our intelligence and information.
One resident of South Rivers is expressing concern about the partial destruction of a cemetery by the passage of a surface trough system last week. The cemetery, which is situated in the midst of the community, was severely affected by raging flood waters which caused the underlying bank to break away and ultimately washed out some human remains. A video of the horrific scene was posted on the social media site Facebook by a resident. Saville Dabrio, whose home is directly facing the cemetery, tells SVG-TV News that she is fearful that more of the lands at the cemetery could give away if the rains continue.
My concern is that it's going to break more, and it's really scary looking at it from where I'm living, because you never see like that before. Before you used to have like 4 breadfruit trees on the area there, and then when them 4 breadfruit trees go down, after a tractor walk in the river, it keep the water coming this direction. And then you see one the breadfruit tree go down when Matthew. And then after Matthew, the other tree went down, and then I think they lost about 10 or 15 grief at that site. And when I went there and looked, I was seeing like jackets, and then the other day, all those jackets gone. And you see like a padding for a coffin. You know, and looking at it, I was very, very scared, because I'm seeing children just running straight to the embankment. So I draw the police attention that they should put a caution tape.
Dabrio makes an appeal to the relevant persons to take action before the situation worsens.
I see Mr. Julian Francis, and I see other area representatives come and look at it. Other news people, Eyewitness, SVG-TV, GIS, everybody come and look at it. But there is nothing they can do at this present time because of the rainy season.
Meanwhile, another resident expressed concerns about the health impact on residents.
I feel a little concerned because people they by the river fishing, catching mullet and whatever, and stuff like that. But they say for now we cannot eat nothing like fish from the river because they bone and clothes and whatever in the water. So.
Vincentians who fought in World Wars I and II were remembered on Sunday as the nation observed Remembrance Day. The ceremony took place at the Cenotaph in Kingstown with an official parade by the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force. Wreaths were laid in honor of those men who made the supreme sacrifice in the two world wars, along with a prayer service held on behalf of the fallen soldiers. Here's a highlight of prayers offered on behalf of fallen soldiers.
Lord, we give thanks today for our veterans and their willingness to risk all for the sake of freedom, by whose mercy the faithful departed find rest. Look kindly on your departed veterans who gave their lives in service for their country. May their dedication and honor never be forgotten.
They fought with no fear, for they are already poured out as drink of offering, and the time of their departure is at hand. They have fought the good fight. They have finished the race. They have kept the faith.
Police are on the hunt for this man, 30-year-old Keon Scott of Glen. Scott reportedly escaped from the serious offences court on Friday. He is considered armed and dangerous. Anyone with information as to his whereabouts is asked to contact the nearest police station. A trough system located to the east of the island chain is expected to affect the islands by tonight into tomorrow. According to the latest update from the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Meteorological Office, this trough is expected to generate an increase in cloudiness, showers, and possible isolated thunderstorms across St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Their analysis also suggests that the trough will move out of the region by early Thursday. However, low-level moisture is expected to linger into Friday. Rainfall accumulations of 2 inches or 50 millimeters are possible. Soils are still saturated across the islands, therefore the possibility of landslides and flooding still exists. Residents living in areas prone to or who have experienced landslides and flooding should be vigilant. The National Emergency Management Organization, NEMO, through the Meteorological Office, says it continues to monitor this trough system. One family of Murray's Village is now homeless as a result of the passage of the surface trough system last week, which caused severe flooding and landslides here, claiming the lives of 2 youngsters. For Yvonne Jones and her family, it was a near-death situation as raging waters left her home completely destroyed. Nolisha Miller has more in this report.
Stop. Oh my God. Oh God. Have faith, come on.
A combination of grief and fear, those are the emotions expressed by a now homeless Yvonne Jones, who was affected by the passage of a surface trough system, which impacted this country last week. The distraught woman told SVG-TV News that during the early hours of Wednesday morning, November 9, 2016, she noticed a buildup of debris near her house, which washed down from above. She stated this immediately raised concerns.
I say, call us and have $15, say, come go, see if you get a credit, give me to Nemo because this thing is very serious. We can't stay here. So time callers go for get the credit and I go back inside. I realize I was at a big stone and debris, trees and fencing coming down and the jamming my daughter's bedroom to the back. So I try scrape up the grandchildren, them clothes rest on the bed. When I do look, I see a house that mud start to sweep in the house and the house moving. So I come out and I said, Romel and Carlan, and they come out the house moving. So when I reach in the porch now, I only hear crack, 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 crack. And coming down on the steps them this six. So when we reach right here, here's where I got stuck. With my feet down inside the door and everything, and then I start to bawl and for help and so forth. I end up losing everything.
Jones explained that she is not only homeless, but her home where she have lived almost all her life and everything she has ever invested in is no more.
The 3-bedroom damaged, the flooring rip up, the sitting room, the kitchen separate from the house, the porch is off. I lose majority of my stuff. I mean, you can see all my stuff inside the house gone. Fridge, stove, dining table set, everything gone. So right now I'm homeless.
She added that arrangements have been made for her family to be housed temporarily.
They wanted to put me in a shelter, which is the center, and I tell them no, I'm not going in a center. I'm a family of 7. And so I end up getting the house below down there that I could monitor my stuff them up here.
Jones said she was happy to learn in recent days that she will receive assistance with a new and fully furnished home.
They will give me back a home and furnish and everything. Yeah, the government. Yes, they will reform. Well, that's what I was told.
By whom?
Luke Brown, Senator Luke Brown.
Jones, who is a security guard at the St. Vincent's Girls High School, said that while she has never experienced anything of the sort, she is comforted by her faith. Nolisha Miller, The Evening News.
Valuation plays a key role in the efficiency of any customs administration. That's the view of Comptroller of Customs Erwina Phils as she spoke at the opening of a customs valuation seminar today at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Phils noted that a lack of understanding of customs valuation and its supplemental procedures can have a negative effect on a country's customs and trade policies. Phils added that there has been an effort made globally to create a fair and neutral standard of value for goods being imported, but noted that developing countries like SVG, which has a high dependency on the collection of revenue on international trade for economic and social development, face unique challenges in implementing standards on valuation.
Opponents of this agreement suggest that any revenue loss at the import stage due to undervaluation can be recaptured when these transactions are taxed at later stages of the production and distribution chain through inland revenue or customs post-clearance audits. However, a large share of our imports are accounted for by an informal sector, and in St. Vincent and the Grenadines we know about the traffickers and other small traders, that uses unreliable invoices, has poor bookkeeping standards, or maintains no bookkeeping at all, has no fixed business address, or has frequent changes in business names. Under these circumstances, valuation control based on post-clearance audit is hardly applicable.
Phils expressed hope that the seminar would result in the development of strategies which would improve their capacity in dealing with issues relating to valuation.
It's my hope, therefore, that during the next 5 days, in addition to understanding the legal framework and principles of the agreement, that the issues mentioned above, which are real and challenging to us here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, will be discussed and fleshed out to make this exercise more meaningful, thereby strengthening our administrative capacity to effectively apply the agreement at all levels of the organization. I wish you all the success for this week as you study and deliberate on this very important topic. Thank you.
Also speaking at the seminar was Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, Nathaniel Williams, who noted that in the area of valuation, there are some areas which are in need of overhaul. Williams added that the seminar is a critical one and encouraged the participants to give of their best as they seek to resolve issues relating to valuation.
That all who are called upon to operate in the market have a sense of equity in the manner in which it is done. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe this workshop is very opportune, it's timely, relevant, and appropriate. And to all of us who will be participating over the week, I look forward to your candid comments. I look forward to your participation, because you on the ground, there's a saying in St. Vincent, he who is in the kitchen feels the heat. I'm not too sure if my colleagues from abroad knows that. What it means is that he who is on the ground and operates have a very good understanding of the pressures and the other issues related to the work. And you're not here just to listen. You're here to participate. You're here to share your experiences, and you are here to learn. I wish you a very successful meeting. Thank you.